Hello everyone, welcome to Bhadra Academy. So in our daily quiz session today we are going to look at the 17th episode where we are going to discuss the questions from 161 to 170. So the question number 161, which of the following creates demand for foreign currency? Whenever we talk about the rupee is becoming stronger, weaker, dollar is becoming very strong. So why the dollar is becoming strong? Why foreign currencies are becoming strong? Basically because the demand for foreign currency, right? So the basic question ये होता है, ये demand for foreign currency इतना क्यों बढ़ता है? मतलब किसको ये foreign currency चाहिए? So we have options here: import of goods and services by Indians, right? Foreign investment by Indians, export of tea by Indians, travel to foreign countries by Indians, मतलब from India, right? So now which of these can create the demand for say foreign currency of say dollar, etc. So the codes are 123, 24, 124 and 4. So if you look at it, who creates demand for foreign currency? The answer will be C. That means what? We have options 1, 2 and 4. So whenever we buy goods and services import from foreign country, we have to pay in foreign currency. Similarly, when we invest money in foreign countries, it has to go out in the form of foreign currency. And travel to foreign currency, we have to convert the rupee into dollar. So these three actually create the demand for foreign currency. However, export of tea does not create a demand, it actually creates the supply of foreign currency. Because when we export, the foreigners pay us in foreign currency, so we receive the dollar rather than paying the dollar. Clear? Therefore, the correct answer would be C for this question. Question number 162. Consider the following statements regarding the governor of a state. The governor is appointed by the president by warrant under his hand and seal, right? So who appoints the governor? That is the basic question. The governor must not be a member of either house of the parliament or the house of the state legislature. The procedure for the impeachment of a governor is detailed in the constitution. The governor submits his resignation to whom? No, that is the question. To the Chief Justice of the High Court. So which of these statements are correct regarding the governor? Okay. So the options are, how many statements are correct? Only one statement is correct, only two statements are correct, three, all the four are correct. So the correct answer is B. That means only two statements are correct. From the total 4, only 2 statements are correct. So which are the 2 statements? That is statement number 1 and statement number 2 are correct, right? Statement 3 is wrong because the constitution does not provide for the impeachment of governor, and also the governor submits his resignation, okay, to the president, not the Chief Justice of High Court. Is this clear? So the governor does not submit this to the High Court Chief Justice. So only 2 statements are correct and the answer is therefore B. Question number 163. Consider the following statements about igneous rocks. They are formed by the cooling and solidification of magma or lava. They are also known as the primary rocks. They always contain fossils, right? So which of these statements are correct? So the answer here is C. The question is which is not correct. Okay. So we have 3 statements. The question is regarding the igneous rock, which statement is not correct, incorrect, right? So when you are talking about which is not correct, the correct answer would be 3 because statement 1 is correct. They are formed by the cooling and solidification of the lava. They are also known as the primary rocks, but they always contain fossils is wrong. Why? Because they form from such a high density heat, we can say, therefore there is no chance for any organic things to survive, right? Therefore they do not contain fossils. Clear? So the statement 3 is the correct answer because that is the only wrong statement, matlab incorrect statement. Clear now? So therefore I have highlighted here in the question also, if you see, we have highlighted here which is incorrect. The question is not which is correct, the question is which is incorrect, only answer is C. Question 164. Consider the following functions. This is about the state cabinet. Okay. So the functions we are talking about the state cabinet ka functions. It is the highest decision making authority in the state's politico administrative system. It is the chief policy formulating body. It exercises control over the higher appointments. Its size and classification are explicitly detailed in the constitution. So how many of the statements are correct? Okay, so we have 4. Out of that, how many are correct? So the answer is only 3. That means one statement is not correct. Which statement? That is number 4. So the constitution does not specify the size or classification, right? So these are based on the parliamentary conventions. Okay, so now these kind of questions you might expect in very many exams. Okay, so you need to be familiar with this kind of sentences. Question number 165. This is again from geography perspective. So if you look at this one, consider the following statements about the upper and the lower mantle. The upper mantle includes lithosphere and asthenosphere. The lower mantle is solid and extends down to the outer core. The mantle is entirely liquid and convective in nature. Now, which statements are correct? So, if you look at the answer, only 1 and 2 are correct. Why? What is the problem with statement number 3? Statement 3 mein problem kya hai? So, if you see, the mantle is not entirely liquid. Okay, only asthenosphere behaves like a plastic type of thing because we have a molten there, right? Because you see lithosphere is rigid, inner core is fully solid, right? So what happens? It is not entirely liquid. So statement number 3 is wrong. So statement 1 and 2 are correct. Okay, therefore the correct answer is A. Question number 166. Which of the following statements about the judicial administration in the Mughal Empire is correct? Okay. So now if you look at this one, the emperor was the highest court of appeal. Statement 2. The Ghazi ul Ghazat was the head of the military department. Right. The judicial system was based on the principles of Quran but was not influenced by local customs. And the judicial system was completely secular in nature. Okay, so which of these statements are correct? So your answer is A, right? Answer is A. So if you see, the emperor was the highest court of appeal, that is correct. But if you see the second statement, the Ghazi ul Ghazat was the chief judicial officer, not the head of the military department. And statement 3 is also not correct because it was not influenced by local custom, that is not correct. It was also influenced by local custom and it was not completely secure, right? It was not what we can say the secular in nature totally. It was influenced by the religious tradition as well. Okay, so only statement A is correct in this. Question number 167. This is from the economics perspective, the budget point of view. Which of the following statements are part of what we call capital budget, right? So the proceeds from disinvestment, purchase of assets by the government, external grants received by government, salary of defense personnel. So we have 4 things here. Out of these 4, which are part of the capital budget, right? So we have option 1 and 4, 1, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, all of the above. So the correct answer is C, right? That means only 1 and 2. So if you look at the capital budget has capital receipt and capital expenditure generally. So disinvestment basically comes under the capital receipt. Buying of assets, any property by the government is a capital expenditure. These two are capital budget. Grant is the revenue budget. External grants received by government will be revenue receipt. Salary of defense personnel will be revenue expenditure. So items 3 and 4, right? items 3 and 4, that means statements 3 and 4, they are part of the revenue budget. Only 1 and 2 are part of capital budget. Right? 168. Which of the following is part of the revenue budget? Earlier one we discussed about the capital budget. Here we discuss about the revenue budget. So we have a subsidy, we have interest payment, we have a loan repayment, we have a salary of the government employees, right? So here we have a 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 4, yeah, 1, 2 and 4. Which of the statements are correct, right? So now which will be part of the revenue budget? Very simple. So if you look at here, subsidy is the revenue budget, interest is also revenue budget, but loan repayment, it is part of capital budget. So statement 3 as a problem. Salary of government employees is a revenue expenditure. So the answer is therefore D only, 1, 2 and 4, because number 3 loan will come under capital expenditure. Clear? So now very many exams ask you questions from the fiscal policy, budget related questions. So we need to be prepared. Question number 169. Which Indian leader was severely injured in a police lathi charge during the protest against the Simon Commission and who later also died from the injuries? So the correct answer for this is Lala Lajpat Rai, but you have other options, Bhagat Singh, Bal Gandhara Tilak, right, Subhash Chandra Bose, etc. So if you see the explanation, Lala Lajpat Rai was injured in a brutal lathi charge while leading the protest in Lahore in 1928, right? He succumbed to his injury and died. Clear now? Question 170. Which of the following newspapers was associated with extremist phase of the Indian national movement and played a significant role in spreading national sentiment? This should be easy question, right? However, you should be familiar because some exams like ADRE, SSC, banking, these kind of questions can be commonly asked. So the correct answer would be Kesari. Clear? So we have discussed 170 questions so far, right? And if you are preparing for any exams, SSC, banking, state level exam or any competitive exam, you can contact Bhadra IAS Academy for any resource material or help. The number is 8638391721. Okay, keep watching our videos for more and more MCQs. Thank you.